Let's move now to the next part here, just about how they're trying to, again, correct the narrative about what happened. Now, the current narrative is, why did Biden do so poorly in the debate when the very next day he appeared at a rally speaking on a teleprompter before a friendly audience in scripted remarks where he actually appeared to be doing pretty well. So let's take a listen to how he actually did during that rally performance the next day in the state of North Carolina and contrast it.
I know I'm not a young man. State the obvious. Well, I know. Well, I don't. Folks, I don't walk as easy as I used to. I don't speak as smoothly as I used to. I don't debate as well as I used to. But I know what I do know. I know how to tell the truth. I know right from wrong. And I know how to do this job. I know how to get things done. And I know, like millions of Americans know, when you get knocked down, you get back up.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts. And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do? Why?
That last one kills me. Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. That is the bar of which Jill Biden thinks her husband did well in the worst debate performance in American history by a sitting president, or frankly, by any major presidential candidate. It's shocking. And you also see there Biden, again, in his scripted remarks in the middle of the day, saying and acting, yeah, he did a better enough or a good enough job, I guess, but that really demonstrates why he's only allowed to do those press conferences, which are scripted, which are in the middle of the day, or press conferences where the questions are pre-selected in a minimal amount, why he doesn't sit for major interviews. Because what you watch in the debate is when things are left up to chance and there's not as much input, it's a total and complete meltdown. We are watching now exactly why this man has been so sheltered for so long. And to watch it happen is incredible, especially because even the donors themselves now, they know what's going on. Let's put this up there. And this is actually, again, a shocking story. A private call of top Democrats fuels more insider anger about Biden's debate performance. So what we are going to listen here is that the Biden campaign manager and the DNC chairman, Jamie Harrison, held a Saturday afternoon call, and this was dozens of committee members. These are ultra-rich, more influential donors within the Democratic Party. Quote, they largely ignored his weak showing of Thursday night or the avalanche of criticism that followed. Multiple committee members, keep in mind, these are committed establishment Democrats, granted anonymity, described feeling like they were being gaslighted, that they were being asked to ignore the dire nature of the party's predicament. The call, they said, may have worsened a widespread panic among elected officials, donors, and other stakeholders. Instead, the people said Harrison offered what they described as a rosy assessment of Biden's path forward, and the chat function was actually disabled and no questions were allowed. One person said, I was hoping for a substantive conversation instead of, hey, let's get out there and just be cheerleaders, said an elected DNC member from Colorado. There were a number of things that could have been addressed in this situation. We didn't get that. We were being gaslit. And so they are gaslighting their own donors. And again, the line now from Biden and his family is to actually throw his staff under the bus. Let's put this up there on the screen, for example. Preparation overload. Democrats defend Biden after debate flop as voter support flinches. And you see the same line that has been trotted out there by Jim Clyburn and now embraced by all of these leading Democrats, and I am including Hakeem Jeffries, the Speaker of the House Democratic leader, Chris Coons, from Delaware, Raphael Warnock from Georgia, Nancy Pelosi. They all defended him. They all said that he shouldn't drop out of the race. John Fetterman, right? He's got some experience in bad debate nights and literal brain damage as well. And what they all say is that, listen, he was badly prepared. Biden actually needs to clean house. He needs to fire all of his staff who badly prepared him for the debate. But I mean, look, I'm not in the business generally of defending the staff, but the conditions were the best they possibly could have been for Joe Biden. He took an entire week off from being president, went to Camp David, hung out in a comfortable environment surrounded by his family and his aides, and spent every single day for 7 days preparing for this debate, mock debates, etc. He probably has been more prepared than any modern presidential candidate. That's actually one of the knocks on Obama in his first bad debate, was that he was badly prepared, or that he did not prepare at all because he was the sitting president and he didn't think that he needed to. So he took that seriously, and he did. And it wasn't a matter of him not being able to command the facts. It was his matter of not being able to command anything, of not being able to complete a single sentence, of coughing multiple times in the middle of the debate, of being confused, of being stone-faced, of just not being able to maintain eye contact, not being able to maintain or finish a single thought, making a question about abortion, about illegal immigrant murder. I mean, that is not about preparation. It's not about facts. It's about the fact that the man is clearly losing his mind, absolutely in front of the entire world. Let's put the next one, please, up there on the screen because it continues to tell some of this story. The Biden campaign is now sending out emails about why they can't switch out other voters, including throwing their own vice president under the bus. And in this email, this was sent out by their own campaign. They say, at the end of the day, we would switch candidates who would, according to the polls, be less likely to win than Joe Biden, the only person to ever defeat Donald Trump. And for example, their justification is, look, Biden actually polls ahead, even though he is behind of Donald Trump in this poll at 48 to 45. They show Kamala Harris at 45 to 48 versus Trump. They show Pete Buttigieg, again, a member of the cabinet. They show Cory Booker, Gavin Newsom, Gretchen Whitmer, Amy Klobuchar, Governor Josh Shapiro, and Governor Pritzker, all against Trump in a June 28th poll from Data for Progress. Now, first of all, there's a little bit of a problem with those hypothetical matchups, right? Which is none of them are actually running for president, which means that the country, Jen Psaki, just to pull it back a little bit for those watching the full show, Jen Psaki's like, well, they won't have his high name ID. Well, why don't they have his high name ID? Because they're not running for president. So of course people won't know who they were. If they were running, then yeah, I think people would actually pay attention, perhaps scrutinize a little bit about how they are doing. But the level of desperation is that Biden is the best Democrat because he, in this hypothetical matchup, beats all of these other contenders, including throwing your own cabinet members and vice president under the bus. Preparation overload. And look, actually during this one rally the day afterwards, he did fine. And that shows you that he can do the job because in a scripted environment surrounded by enthusiastic fans, he is doing well. I mean, if that's not the conditions to do well, and if that's not conditions where, frankly, anybody is going to have a good performance, then I don't know what is for a politician. Hey, if you like that video, hit the like button or leave a comment below. It really helps get the show to more people.
And if you'd like to get the full show ad-free and in your inbox every morning, you can sign up at breakingpoints.com.
That's right. Get the full show, help support the future of independent media at breakingpoints.com.